Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 6, which was titled Bonds. So this episode, honestly, I don't really know how I feel about it right now. I think I'm going to have to rewatch it in terms of like a full-on analysis as to how I feel about the episode, because I definitely enjoyed it. I'm just not sure how much I enjoyed it, because there was portions of it I loved, and there's also portions of it that I was kind of disappointed a little bit, but not in a major way. I think the episode, what it did, it was supposed to do, and it did exactly what it needed to do, is what I'm trying to say. But it wasn't like a revolutionary episode or anything like that. But there was 4 main portions of this episode, and I want to focus on obviously each of them separately. We'll start with the best parts of the episode, and then we'll go down to the worst parts of the episode. I mean, not really worst parts, just the least good parts of the episodes. Obviously, the best stuff was with Negan and Beta, the Whispers. Obviously, I mean, that's what I was most anticipating, and that's ended up what I was most, connected to. And it was great. I mean, every second of it was great. Just like last episode, everything with Negan in it is just great. I don't know how Jeffrey Dean Morgan is just such a great actor, but his charisma and everything is just, it's there. And so all his scenes were just not only hilarious, but they were just entertaining as hell. So I love how Negan acts around them, how he's all like, talkative and shit. That's who Negan is, and he just keeps going on and on about random shit that doesn't even matter half the time, but it's just funny because it's just so random. And then he goes on about, I want a skin suit, got to make it fit my balls or something. Like, it's just hilarious, the shit he says, and I can watch that all damn day. So everything with him was great. The one scene where they were doing like the whisper activities and they had that little funky music. I saw people on Twitter saying they didn't like that funky music and it kind of didn't fit well, but I thought that fit perfectly. It made sense for what was going on. Kind of reminded me of Season 7, Episode 7, when Negan was checking out the house in Alexandria, and he was just looking around. He was like playing darts with Carl or whatever. They had similar type of music. I think it fit the scene pretty well. It fits Negan's character, so I was happy with it. But the one thing that disappointed me about the Negan and Beta stuff was the ending. Specifically when Beta left him in the herd of zombies or walkers, and he just left, right? And then we see Negan come back at the end of the episode, and he was able to get out of it. Now, they've been doing this a lot. They do this so much now for some reason, and it's been an occurrence for a while. It's not like this is something new, but I feel like the producers and writers, they know that we've seen so many walkers get killed in this series to the point where sometimes it's just, we don't need to see more and more and more. We can skip over the walker killing and just get to the point of the story. And I don't like that, because not only does it sound lazy, it's just, I love seeing walkers get killed. I'm sorry. It's part of the show. It's obviously they still have walkers getting killed in the show, right? We see it, obviously. But we don't see it that much anymore because they love to skip over it. Now, an example would be episode 3. Remember Carol was in that gym with all those walkers? She killed like 1 or 2, and then they just skipped over it and showed her amongst the dead bodies. I'm like, well, I kind of wanted to see how the hell she did that, because there was a good 20 or 30 of them, and she had nothing but a knife. I would have been very interested to see how she did it, but they skip over it because they don't want to explain how she did it. They just want to get through the point. And I know this scene, it does make sense because it doesn't have the same effect of Negan returning after it and he's all bloody and it's like, holy shit, Negan got out of that. But like, we've seen this so many times. I want to see how we got out of it. I'm sorry, I do. And I understand that takes more time, that takes more money, and they might feel it's unnecessary, but I'm sorry, I don't think it's unnecessary. This is The Walking Dead. I want to see walkers getting killed. Therefore, skipping over something like that is kind of an issue in my mind. I want to see it happen. I want to see Negan taking a stick. I don't know where he got that stick from. He was surrounded, man. That must have been difficult to get out of, and I would love to have seen it. And they do this, like I said, a lot, and I really wish they wouldn't. Sometimes it makes sense why they do it, like for No Way Out, for example, how they skipped over them killing all the zombies in No Way Out. I was okay with that because we already saw them killing like over 100 walkers previously. We saw them kill a bunch. We didn't need to see them kill every single one of them, right? But this is something like, they didn't even show him killing 1 or 2. They just skipped right over the whole thing. Same with the Carol thing. Okay, she killed 1 or 2, but there was like 30 of them. Like, really? You know what I mean? That's just small gripe, though. It doesn't ruin the episode by any means. Not even close to ruining the episode. I think the episode, like I said, was still fantastic. But that was just one little complaint I had with the Negan and Beta stuff. But Negan kneeling down to Alpha at the end was awesome. And then she goes, shh. That was really cool. I really, really liked that. The Beta just being pissed off at him the whole episode was just hilarious. Second best stuff in this episode, people would say it's the Daryl and Carol stuff. I actually enjoyed the Eugene stuff the second most. So we saw Eugene on the radio, obviously, and his conversation with Rosita, I loved that conversation. And now I don't know if it was just me, but it really did feel like that Rosita was vibing him. Like, she was kind of thinking, like, she felt bad for what she said to Eugene before, and she was having second thoughts about everything. And that's what it seemed like to me, at least. I'm not completely sure, but that's kind of what I was getting at from that scene, and I really, really liked it because I really like Eugene and Rosita's relationship. Even if it's not romantic, and if it never will be romantic, I don't care. I think the relationship is one of the strongest in the show. One of the strongest, not the strongest, but definitely one of the strongest, because they've been there together, like, close friends since, like, season 4, since we first met them, which even before that they were friends. We just never saw all that. So that's definitely huge. And then, of course, Stephanie, which I'm assuming it's Stephanie from Commonwealth, because we know if you read the comics, you know who that is, was on the radio. And obviously, this is going to take time. We're probably not going to see it develop until, like, later on in the season, and we'll see her and Eugene having more talks, and then eventually she'll drop the bomb and say, yeah, I'm at a community called Commonwealth in Ohio. I believe it's in Ohio, right? I don't know. I don't know if they'll do the same in the show or not. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited for that. I mean, Commonwealth in the comics was exciting at first, but then I think the way they decided to go about the story in the end, I wasn't all that intrigued in. But I hope that this show, and I'm sure the show will, expand upon it and make it much better and more interesting, especially because it'll probably connect to the Rick movies in some way, since we know that CRM group is probably referring to C as in Commonwealth, R as in a group we haven't seen yet, and then M as in Monument, which is the group from the new show, which I'm assuming that's how they're going to connect them all together. Maybe the R will be introduced in the movies or in Fear the Walking Dead. I have no idea. But if Commonwealth connects to this bigger story and the bigger universe of all the, the Rick movies, I think it'll be much better than the comics, and I'm really excited for it. So that was cool. Then we had Daryl and Carol going past the border to the Whisperer territory to try and take out the herd. Now, what pisses me off is that I had no problem with this, right? But I'm saying for the community's sake, people really complained about season 8 a lot because they kept saying stuff like, "Oh my God, Terrell and Dara are so stupid." I was trying to say Tara and Daryl, but I said Terrell. I combine their names. People do that all the time. Tara and Daryl went to basically go against the plan that they had originally in mind and go about it on their own, and that ended up getting people killed in the end. That's literally what they did here, but people complain about that in season 8, but they're not going to complain about Daryl and Carol doing that literal same thing in this episode. But it makes sense. What Tara was doing made sense. Obviously what happened with Dwight, she was pissed. Made sense for her character. And then this is the same deal. It makes sense for Carol's character. She lost Henry. She is pissed off. She wants Alpha dead. And I don't blame her for that. That's not bad writing. There was the season 8 Daryl and Tara stuff. That was not bad writing either. I don't think it was at all, at least. But then we had this stuff, obviously, really cool stuff in this scene in particular was when Daryl was hiding from the Whispers, and that was a creepy-ass scene. I really liked how it was done. And that one walker that he attacked was really weird looking. I thought it was a Whisperer at first because the way it looked was really odd. But he snapped the neck and it was still alive, so I'm assuming obviously it was a walker. And then he cut open the gut and then took the blood out and then started covering his face with it. That was awesome. So awesome, man. I really, really enjoyed that whole entire sequence. And then Carol captured some guys somehow. I wish they showed how she captured the guy, but yet again, they love to skip over things for some reason. But we didn't get to see what happened there, but she got the guy, and then they're going to, I assume, bring him back to Alexandria and interrogate him. I don't know really what her plan is with that. I mean, I guess it's good that she's doing something that Carol's doing something because we don't know, or we know more than what the survivors know. We know that the Whisperers are planning some bad shit, and the survivors don't know that. Survivors think that they're just, they might be messing with us a little bit, but at the same time, we'll deal with these situations just like how they dealt with Negan and just kind of lived with it. And then they realize we can't live with this, we have to fight back. And that's kind of the same scenario here, especially because the fact that the Whispers are causing a lot of these problems. I mean, look, they infected the goddamn water with the guts. That's a pretty major thing. And people are getting sick, which, by the way, when I did my The Walking Dead season 10, if I was a showrunner series where I was writing the first couple episodes of the season, like what I would make this episodes, I had one of the episodes, I made it so the Whisperers infected the water, and then the water that they were drinking ended up being infected and they were getting sick. I did that same thing, so I predicted that damn shit. That's awesome. But that was a really cool sequence. That was also not the most enjoyable part of the episode. That's, you know, what I'm saying is probably my least favorite part of the episode, but it was still good in its own right. I don't think Rosita's gonna die from this sickness. I don't think most of the people are. Some people might, especially the older folks with the bad immune systems. I think Rosita can probably fight it off. She would probably be dead by now. I don't think the virus would take this long to kill her, you know what I mean? So I think she's going to be okay. People are really afraid, saying she's going to die. And apparently she is going to like some Netflix show. I really hope she doesn't die because I like her character a lot. I really hope she lives on a little bit longer, especially because, I mean, she passed to Rosita from the comics, right? Rosita from the comics died in the Pikes. So I'm like sitting here like, okay, she survived longer than the comics. So does that mean she's inevitable any day now, or are we going to see her till the end? I want to see her till the end. I really like her character. And then, of course, you have some other people getting sick from drinking the bad water as well. Eugene must be pretty damn happy that he went to a hilltop because now he's not sick. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens. We haven't seen the next time on yet. I wasn't able to. They didn't show it at the end of the episode, so they're going to probably show it at the end of the episode on Sunday. So I'll bring you guys a prediction video on probably Monday. And so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.